tuning in to another episode of New Journey. Who this? Why? Because we're all here on a new journey, and when God get done with us, y'all gonna be like, who this?
Who this?
Yes, guys. So I'm excited. Tonight is our first live special guest, the gorgeous Tia Johnson Mills. We are definitely glad to have you. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Hi, I am Tia Johnson Mills. I have been a licensed cosmetologist for 26 years. I am the owner of Studio Adore Me Hair Salon, Adore Bunda Hair Co., and we recently started STEM Family Services, and I'm also a motivational speaker.
Wow.
Yes.
So we're going to jump right into questions. Okay, what inspired you to start your own business?
Okay, so I've always had a passion for hair, and I was working at Cutting Up and Style Salon, and it was like a really popular salon. It was about 8 of us there, and I enjoyed the family environment, but it came to a point where I wanted to set down my atmosphere for my salon. I wanted to be controlled. I wanted to control like the setting, the environment. So I decided it was time for me to step out and do something different because I had a different vision from what Cutting Up had.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
How long you were there for?
I was there for 10 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Years. Like the owner of Cutting Up was like, it's my kid's godmom. Like we were family,
Yeah.
and we're all still like connected and like in family now.
That's awesome.
That's good. Okay, so how do being married impact your entrepreneurial journey?
Well, I feel like marriage, it does help me to have balance in business because when I was a single mom, I worked more. Then when I got married, I learned that I have to have balance because I wanted to be present in my marriage. Because first it's fresh, like a year and a half out, and I just wanted to be present. I didn't want to be always consumed in work. He got the busy schedule too, so it kind of works out that I can still be that working woman and then that wife.
Right.
Yeah. What were the biggest challenges of balancing business and family life?
Realizing that family is just as important as business.
Wow.
I think it was a few years ago, my family had decided that we was going to do a cruise, a 7-day cruise around Thanksgiving. Oh. And I'm like, what my clients going to do? You know, like how can I leave my clients and for a holiday, who's going to do their hair? They're going to be stressed out. You know, like how can I leave them for 7 days around the holiday to go be with my family? And then I was thinking, Tia, why don't your family get to experience the holiday with you for 7 days? Yeah. Like you're always at work, you always putting your clients first. And that was like my first eye opener. Make me realize that you have to do things differently. Like you can't just always be so consumed in work and your family comes after that. Like I had to look at things different and like just prioritize like my family.
Right.
Yeah, that's good and very important. Were there any moments where you felt like giving up? How did you push through?
Oh my goodness. So right when I opened up my business, anxiety like tried to like consume me. And I went through a breakdown of like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't know if I can do this. Like everything was already in place. Yeah. But you know, the devil used anything. That mind is the devil workshop. Yeah. And it was like, I felt like I wasn't able to do it. My mom was like, well, Tia, you need help? No. You need me to do something? I was like, no. What do you need? Nothing. But I had to realize that, you know, sometimes we can just make our mind shift. You can either go down or you can come up. Yeah. And in those moments when you do go down, you start to question everything, the what ifs. Yeah. You got to pull yourself back up to a higher space and realize that, what if it works? Yeah. What if you can? Yeah. And even if it doesn't work this time, you try it again. Right. Because you have the ability to do whatever you put your mind to. It don't mean it's going to be successful like right off the bat. Like, especially in this world now where we have social media, we compare so much that it'll make you feel like you're not somewhere that you need to be. Yeah. But you have to be so focused on your journey. You want to use other people's journey as motivation.
Wow, that's so good. Man, you could tell you got some years in the game. No, that's good wisdom though and knowledge that people, because a lot of times when people start these businesses, they don't last because they can't handle it. Yeah. It's too much. It really is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just feel like it's always, everything in life is how you choose to look at it.
Yeah.
It's how you choose to look at it. Yeah. everything's not gonna be easy.
Right.
And sometimes it's gonna be very hard. But hard don't mean you're not able.
Right.
It means you gotta put in more work.
That's right.
You gotta figure out a different way, a different strategy. Yeah. Hard don't mean it's not obtainable.
Yeah.
Right.
It just means it's hard.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But
That's
hard
real,
don't break you. Like,
right. It's good for you. That's what my daddy used to say.
Right.
How has your business evolved over the years?
So I started in a salon, being a booth renter. My first salon was small. That's how we came up with the name Studio Dormy, because it was small. So personable, small, studio. And it was just two of us in there, me and my partner Tamika. And then we went to a salon. We had 4 stations. And I now have a salon with 9 stylists, a nail tech, and an esthetician.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
God did it.
Yes,
He
he
did
did.
it.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, he did.
All right, so
So from the previous question, you said your mom used to offer you help and you would say no. Why did you always turn down
Well, no,
help?
not that I turned down help. It's just in that moment when I was having that moment with anxiety was ruling,
Okay.
and I was feeling like I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't open this line. I couldn't pay these bills. I couldn't do this. And she was asking me, like, do you need help? And no, I didn't need help. Everything was already taken care of, but my fear had set in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was asking me, like, do you need help? And my answer was no, because I had already taken care of it. But even though it was already set up, staged, furnished, everything, it still was, like, overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll be talking.
Right.
Just don't listen.
I listened that day.
yeah.
I laid on that floor and cried, and tried to tell myself, girl, get up. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta go to work tomorrow.
So, what did marriage teach you about yourself?
Oh, okay, guys, I hate to say this out loud, but marriage taught me that I was not perfect. Can you believe it?
Wow.
You imagine being this big age and just realizing you're not perfect?
Exactly.
Because, so you know, in life we have different things we have to do. But I was daddy's girl. I was spoiled. I've been a princess. I've always had like a lot of friends, popular. I've just been that girl.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've never really had to be in a position where I had to work on me.
Right.
Like, personally, like, the things that was wrong with Tia, because I didn't think anything was wrong with Tia until I realized Tia had some work to do when I met my husband. So at first I was just looking at him like, you the one, you know? You the one that need to work, I'm all right. But then you realize that you really need to look at yourself, because sometimes things that we didn't realize was a problem because we never really had anybody to call us out on it.
Right.
And nobody's just excusing you as, you know, your behavior,
Right.
your tone, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You know, I had got to a place where I realized that Tia is a princess, but this princess needed some work.
Yeah, that's real stuff.
That's good. Yeah. So, how did raising kids influence your career decisions?
Okay, so I started doing hair when I was 18. I graduated from Dudley at age 18. I graduated high school in June and Dudley in December. I went to Mitchell's while I was in high school.
Okay.
And then all my friends were going to A&T. So I'm going to Greensboro too. I'm going to Dudley. So I went, but I was pregnant. So I had my baby like right after I finished hair school. So I never had a moment to just be this girl who couldn't figure it out, because I came from a 2-parent family, and I never lacked. I always had anything I wanted, but I didn't want to put my decision to have this child on my parents. I was spoiled real bad, but I was also very responsible.
Right.
So I used my children was my fuel to like make it.
Yeah.
Like, I had no time to like play around. Like, we didn't have Facebook. I was always out handing out business cards. And you know, back in the day, stylists look like stylists.
Yeah.
So I put my clothes on, and somebody asked, you do hair? Yes, here's my card. You know, like, I promoted myself like me taking care of my children depended on it.
Right.
Like, so.
Out in the street.
Yeah.
I know.
So, what values did you try to install in your children?
To be a hard worker, have good character, have a relationship with God, and just treat people right.
Right.
Because whatever you put out into this world, it come back.
Amen.
The good, bad, and the ugly.
Uh-huh.
So I try to keep them to be mindful of what type of person you are, because that's important.
Yeah, it is. How do you feel about transitioning from a full-time mom to having grown kids?
Whew, that's a blessing from the Lord. Because, like I said, I had my kids early. So, if I went from teenager to mom. So, I was always had to be like the mom. I never was just able to be a free spirit because I was always, raising my kids and working. But now my business is pretty much good, and I don't have to do all those crazy hours I did before. And they're older, so now I can travel and move about, and they can with me as well. Like, and my oldest son, he be kind of boring sometimes, but he don't be having time for me because he got him with ladies, and it's all about them. But my baby boy, I can pull him sometimes, to travel with me. So it's good to see them like older and just being able to go out and enjoy life together. When they're young, you got to hold their hand, but now it's like we can really enjoy doing things together.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That kind of answered the next question a little bit. Like, what's your relationship like with your children?
Yeah, I'm a boy's mom. They love me. I'm their first love. I'm close with both of my boys. Like, we have to talk several times a day. And my oldest son, he's in Greensboro, but we still see each other often. They're my little best friends.
Oh, that's right.
And I thank God they ain't my broke best friends.
Right.
If you could go back, what one thing will you do different as a parent?
I would go home. I spent so much time trying to make sure I can provide things, money, stability for my kids that they lost me.
Right.
They had everything they wanted.
Yeah.
Everything they wanted, needed, could think of, they had it because I worked hard enough to purchase it. But they lost me in the process.
Wow.
So if I could go back, I would still make my money, but I would make sure I had more time available to be that mom, more present instead of the presence.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, Silk.
I got a little couple questions. So.
Okay.
All
I
right.
got a couple answers.
How has your faith guided you through the ups and downs of marriage?
My faith, I just feel like if I did not have a relationship with God, I don't know like how I would handle me, yet alone a relationship with another person. Because, relationships are not always the fairy tale that we, when it's good, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm his queen, he's my king, he's my everything, that is perfect. And sometimes when things are perfect, we feel like we don't need God, right?
Right.
But sometimes God will allow things to happen for you to see that it's a need for him to be there. And he needs to be at the center of, every relationship. And so because of marriage and having this vow we stood before God and took this vow, I have to honor God with how I behave in my marriage. Like, Tia alone will probably, mess some things up, because it's emotion, it's this, it's, it's me have my way. But if I want to be a wife that chooses to please God, if I want God to bless my marriage, I have to honor him in everything I do. So there are times where, I might forget that I had that vow, and he might not be all the way happy, but my balance comes from remembering that this isn't just between him and I, my husband and I, it's between me and God. Like, I have to be that woman that God can look down on and say, yep, that's my girl.
Yeah,
She's doing that wife thing.
Right. Amen to that. Yep. Yes, ma'am. All right. What role did prayer and scripture play in your healing and personal growth?
How can you heal without prayer
You can't.
and scripture? How can you grow in God without having a relationship with him? So, I in my broken stages, even if I have a bad day, sad day now, it's like I shut down from friend, sister, my sister, my best friend, everybody that I have to like read, I have to listen to my music, I have to like pray, I have to like calm myself with God.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna be reading. I need you to, help me because you know who I am.
Yeah.
And you know how I can be. God knows me best. So in those times, it's just easier for me to get myself together if I get back connected to him.
Right.
It's that disconnect that allows you to move kind of like in your own,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We can tell
Yeah.
stuff
Right,
up
right,
on
right.
our own.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, it's like I know where my peace comes from.
Right.
I know where my balance
Yeah.
comes from.
Yeah.
So if I don't do those things, I can kind of like, you know, go that way. But if I'm intentionally trying, you know, to do better, I'm trying to center myself, I'm trying to calm myself, I know what I need to do because God is the answer. Like,
Yes.
Right.
and even in times where, you know, you want to react or speak, sometimes you have to get quiet enough to talk to him so he can talk to you,
Yeah.
so you can respond in a way that pleases
Exactly.
him.
Yes,
Wow.
that's
amazing.
the truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
I had to
is.
learn that.
Me too.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
For real.
And if you don't, a lot of times too, the devil can get in between those cracks if you're not praying in your word and scripture. So it's true. All right. And then I have, how did you lean on God while balancing business, family, and personal struggles?
Through prayer. And then like for business, I just feel like I honor God because I feel like it's nothing so special about me besides the connection I have with God.
Amen.
Like for like the way I choose to run my business, I do things in a way that reflects him. Okay, so like when people walk into my shop, they're like, oh, your shop is beautiful. And I'm like, you know, to God be the glory. But if I want God to bless my business, right, and if I don't treat it like something God blessed me with, how he gonna continue to bless me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you,
The time gonna run out.
right?
Yeah.
You can't just mishandle things that you
Right.
say God gave you.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever you feel like God blessed you with, whether it's business, marriage, relationship, whatever it is, car, house, you have to handle it as a blessing.
Wow, that's
Because
so
if you
good.
mishandle it, you saying you don't acknowledge it as a blessing.
Right.
How can you expect more from God if you can't even tend to what He's blessed you with already?
Right.
So you have to honor those things as a blessing from God and honor Him as you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't just be nasty. You can't be big-headed. You have to stay humble. Keep your house, your cars, your business clean.
Right.
You know?
Right. No, for
And
real.
just be respectful with it. Like, you know, just know it. This is something God
Yeah.
gave me.
Amen.
This is not nothing I worked hard, so I made this money and I did this for me.
Yeah, no.
You do it like that, like,
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta
What are
put
we
God
doing?
in
Yeah,
everything.
you got
Yeah.
to.
Exactly. Nothing without him. And I would say, what's one piece of faith-based advice you would give to women facing a similar journey?
Know that no weapon
Formed
formed
against
against
shall
you
prosper.
shall prosper.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Even when they're forming, even when you see the weapon, even if you see the person that is that weapon, no matter what it comes, how it comes, you gotta know that you're gonna prosper.
Right.
God isn't gonna allow it to consume you. I don't care how you feel, how hard it looks like it's gonna be to get out of this position. You gotta know that it's fixed.
Yeah. Yeah.
God is on my side. He's working with me, and He's gonna guide me through it, whatever it is. Like,
Yes.
don't let it discourage you.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that we're all these superheroes and we'll never lower our head and feel like the weight is heavy because we're human. But you're gonna have to always be able to not sit in that place too long and remember that God got me.
Right.
I used to be so consumed with anxiety until I got to the point where I had to be like, well, God, I keep getting stressed out or you keep working it out.
Right.
So I got to a space I was like, you know, this is kind of scary. This is kind of heavy. But I know you're going to do it, so I can't wait to see how you do this.
Right.
Like, I just started
Yeah.
feeling like, for real, like,
Yeah.
it ain't about to take me down. I can't wait to see how you
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
And every time,
Yeah.
he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it. He
Yeah.
did it. So if he keeps doing it, what you going to do?
Right.
Like, besides really start to believe it
Yeah.
and trust him and have faith that even if it doesn't work out how I think it should, God's gonna work it out in my favor
Amen.
every time.
I love that.
Every time.
Wow, I'm like, yeah, cause you're
Yeah,
right.
right.
Like, that's real.
hmm It can be uncomfortable, but he got you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you got me. Like,
Yeah.
now, it's kind of heavy,
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of tired,
Right.
but I know you got me.
Yeah.
Come get me.
Right.
He got you. Like, can't worry about it, but so much because God got you every time. Like, I got tired of being broken, like, to the point I had to be like, you got me.
Right.
I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Every time. And if he got you, you can't fail.
Yeah.
All right. What does success mean to you now compared to when you first started?
So when I first started in the hair industry, success for me was being booked, overbooked, and busy. So, I mean, people
That's
be
real,
mad.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like my workload was super heavy. Like, I think my largest day was like 21 clients. So I overworked my body to now I have injuries of an athlete. Like, all from standing behind a chair trying to get to the bag.
Yeah.
Right.
I got the bag, and then my knees saying, Jesus, please. But success for me then was, overworking myself, always being in the salon and making money.
Mm-hmm.
But now in my maturity, I realized that instead of doing 21, I can do 8,
Right.
10,
Yeah.
It get more than that sometimes, but not that bad.
Yeah.
That I have to cry in the shower when I get home because
Yeah.
I'm tired and I got to go do this again tomorrow. So success for me in the beginning was this booming clientele and a lot of money. Now success for me is balance.
Mm-hmm.
I work with decent hours. I don't overwork myself often.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have balance with my family. I get to spend time with my family. I have peace. And I'm not trying to do anything besides what Tia wants to do.
Exactly.
I'm not a puppet on a string being
yeah.
pulled by trying to please a clientele. People always say, when you're in control of your own schedule, we are. And we have to remember that.
Right.
Because sometimes we let people control us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can say, I'm booked, I'm not taking any more people. And then you got your favorite client, your sweet little lady, or little Miss Ma'am who forgot that she didn't schedule her appointment for this very important event. And then you feel like, I have to. Now, sometimes you can.
Yeah.
But there are so many times we inconvenience ourselves, we neglect our family, we miss this, that, and the other thing just because I'm trying to be there for you.
Right.
When the most important person you have to be there for is you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to take care of you because that's how you get burnout.
Right.
When you start doing things in a manner that's not how you see it,
Right.
how you wanted it done. Like, today, I'm going to get off early. I'm going to go do this with my son. Well, if you could just squeeze me in, because tomorrow's no longer going to work because I have to go out of town. I have this, I have that, I have the other thing.
Yeah.
So then what's going to happen? We ain't going to get to see the sun.
Yeah.
And I feel like anytime you go against what you really want to do, you always regret it.
I know,
Right.
that's true.
You always regret it.
Yeah.
Then you can say, well, I will only be working another hour and a half. I'll get there in time to do this.
Yeah.
You get there, the baby in bed, he's sleeping, and you in the cry in the shower crying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Because
And it accumulates over time and time and time.
Yeah.
so you just got to make sure that sometimes we can, be available. Sometimes we have to really learn to think about why we're saying no and be okay with it.
Right.
Without having to beat yourself up about it. Because really, if they would have did it right to begin with,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have to do all that.
we wouldn't have to do that. So you can't expect people, that's in any situation, to bend for you. Because you don't know what that being looks like for that person.
Yeah.
We get so used to asking for this little favor for what you think is small. And you don't know what the other person has to do to accommodate you.
Right.
Sometimes we ask things in a selfish manner without realizing it.
Yeah.
And baby, I don't mind telling you selfish. You being selfish. Like, I wanted to go home. Like, it's my only day. I had to get off early.
Right.
But I used to feel bad. Sometimes I still kind of do. But if you want to have balance, you're going to have to learn to set those boundaries. And enough times when you're not available, people will learn that, okay, I got to do it right. I got to book appropriate. I got to do this.
That's
like,
right.
then they'll start moving different. If they don't, you might just not be that person for them.
Right.
And it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. And the Bible does say, let your yes be yes and your no mean no. So I mean, I guess
I
that,
said what I said.
exactly,
Right.
because then that kind of, if you keep, saying just
Yeah.
because it's your favorite client or whatever, you're being more so like people pleasing, and then neglecting yourself.
People pleasing, child.
I know
I
about
didn't
that.
know I was such a people pleaser until I got married.
Really?
Yes, I'm
What was it
a
like for you?
reformed people pleaser.
Okay.
And to a certain, it's not as bad now, but I had it bad.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Cause I like people. I love
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to disappoint people.
Right, it's a disappointment.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But,
And I'll talk junk too.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna do it for you.
Right.
Be mad. Come on, cause you selfish. No, I ain't gonna do it. But what you need it for? And that's the only time you can come. Well, just come. You know?
No, like, that's crazy.
I'm gonna talk junk
Yeah.
and regret it and
Yeah.
still do it.
Right.
All right. So, how do you prioritize self-care and mental health as an entrepreneur?
You have to have it. Or you will go crazy. And I always realize when I'm kind of like losing my balance, I start getting real snappy.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Because I really want to go home.
Yeah.
And y'all want to let me out of here. And then my responses kind of be kind of
Yeah,
sharp, you
yeah.
know. But I realize it's like, it's because I got to maintain my balance as much as possible. Because I'm not happy. I'm not truly happy when I'm not happy, when I don't have balance. Because I still enjoy doing hair after 26 years. I love my clients. I go to work and have a ball.
That's awesome.
It's like being at the park all day with your
Yeah,
friends as a
that's
kid.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
enjoy it. Like, I have good conversations with my clients. Like, and most of my clients been coming to me for a while, so we have a relationship. So it is enjoyable. But also, I need to get home to my husband sometimes without being broken down and tired.
Right.
I need to be able to have conversations with my sons without being snappy, because I done gave all the good stuff up at work.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, all my
Yeah,
patience,
yeah,
all my
exactly.
jokes, all
Yeah.
my
Now you're right.
understanding is at the shop.
Right.
Then I tell you to turn the light off when I get here. Like, and it's so crazy because you will like give the best parts of yourself.
That's true.
It
That's so true.
work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's true.
And then you done gave out so much of yourself, and by the time you get home, it's like, this all I got.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
Not fair.
Because those people are the most important people in your lives. Like
Right.
your kids, your husband, your parents, your siblings. Like, your family unit is the most important.
Yeah.
And we so oftentimes forget that for trying to get money.
Right.
Right.
But we don't need just money.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we need that love and support and that time with
Right.
our family.
Okay. What's next for you in your life and in business?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't even really have a real answer because I like people ask me, I'm tired of doing hair. I'm not tired of doing hair. I'm not ready to get from behind the chair. I do want to cut back some hours. My family, my husband and I just opened another business with the respite business called STEM Family Services. Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you. So we're doing that, and I feel like it's more like me supporting him.
Yeah.
But you know, it's us.
Give and
That's my
take.
man.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
man.
Y'all won.
Not the air quotes. 'Cause that's my husband. Oh wait, air
The
quotes.
whole hood. Okay.
Her wife out here.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm not ready to stop doing hair. And somebody asked me the other day when I opened up another salon. I don't really want another salon, but I don't know what's next far as like the hair industry. I am embarking more on the motivational speaking. I am about to become a certified life coach.
Okay, that's
So
awesome.
yeah,
I
forgot
feel
about
you.
that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Look.
start that in June.
Okay.
Get my certification for that.
You just have so much wisdom to pour. That's what I like about you.
Thanks
I mean,
for-
you don't hold your, you know, you give it, you know.
we got to.
Yeah.
What you gonna hold it for?
Right.
Right.
But I
Because
mean,
somebody got to talk to me. You know, we
Yeah.
got to talk to each other. People love to not share.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy.
Like,
Mhm.
Like,
No,
because
for real.
we all need somebody to talk to.
Right.
You know, because I do.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord, I got these
I
lips.
know,
child.
right.
All right. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Take your time. Use your time wisely.
That's good. Yeah.
Like, you know, because I started off so young, I felt like I had to like hit the gas. You know, like now put all myself in. Take your time. Like, don't compare yourself to anybody. Focus on your own watch. Set your own pace. Set your goals. Work towards them. How many pieces of advice I can say? Okay, I can keep talking. But, you know, just don't get well, with these today, like, don't focus so far ahead on the future that you can't see and value what you have in front of you. Take your time and get to those goals. Set small goals to reach that big goal, but enjoy that journey. Don't beat yourself up. Take every failure in stride as fuel to push you forward, but don't let it break you down.
Right. Okay, that's amazing.
Wow.
Good advice.
BreakThrough.
Great advice.
Yeah. All right, guys. So, is there anything else you want to add?
I don't know. But I just want to say, like, for real, it's all about, like, shifting the way you think. Shifting how you see things. Because we are the only ones that can break us. It's how you decide it's going to affect you. We can't control anybody else's actions. We can't control but so many things in this life. But if you have your mindset that you're going to be okay. Like, I'm in my second marriage. In my first marriage, I let the devil just had his way because I was moving outside the will of God. And when I first got out of it, somebody asked me, like, do you ever want to get married again? I was like, yeah, because I think marriage is a beautiful thing. I just didn't have the right husband. You know, like, and I could have sat in a space of depression or anger or heartbreak, but for what?
Right.
Like, I remember one day my kids, I had both of them by this time, they was getting out of the car and they was about to go in the house. And I sat in the car and I watched them go to that door and I started to cry. Like, I never wanted to be a single parent. I can't believe I have to raise these kids by myself. And then I just started laughing. I'm like, the devil is crazy. I said, I was having a good day. Like, I laughed at myself. Like, girl, you let the devil come in that fast. Like, that's his work. Like,
it'd be that
I let them kids walking in. I was probably tired from overworking. You know, everything hurt you, feel them tired. I had to do this by myself. But and just as I got that cry, I laughed. I was like, yo, like, devil, you crazy. Like, I got this. God has gave me every tool I need to sustain this. Like, I'm going to be the best single mom until I get help. I got to do what I got to do. Like, my parents were there and all that. But it was just like that moment. It just showed me, like, if you let yourself go into them second spaces, you can go. And you can either stay there or realize that it's the trick of the enemy.
Yes, it is.
I don't care how bad it may seem to you, somebody's going through worse.
Right.
And not just somebody is going through worse. You could be going through worse.
That's right.
So you gotta find a heart of gratitude.
Right.
Like, the God, I might have to eat these oodles and noodles.
Right, but I'm thankful for them.
Hello. And if I don't have the oodles and noodles today, I got some water and I'm gonna call it a fast and I'm gonna pray and believe God gonna change some things. Like, you can't let stuff break you. Like, because I've been in the broken spaces too many times. And I pray to God that he keeps me on this journey. Like, to keep looking at him to know that you got me. Like, and even if those times where I feel like he might have left me, I know it's because I choose not to see him there. Because he would never leave me. No.
Yes, that's the word. That's real, though.
It's all about how you see it, how you want to handle it, how do you want to go through it. Because things going to happen. So are you going to let those things happen with your head down and acting like it's so heavy? Or you going to put them shoulders back, chest up, let's go, we got this. Like, either way you got to go through it. When you feel like, that girl, you can get through a little bit easier. When you all broken down and pitiful and sad, it makes it that much harder. Just go through things fiercely. Like, because there's no victory on the other side of it. And you can't get the victory dragging your feet
No.
with your head down,
No.
want to keep crying, right?
Yeah.
Then you can
Right.
cry.
Yeah.
'Cause I like to cry
But
now. I'm
wipe
gonna
your
cry.
tears, wipe your tears
But I'm gonna
and
get up and I'm gonna show
Right.
you who I am.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna
Got
show
3
you
days.
Yeah.
who I'm fighting with.
Yeah.
And that's
The fix is
amazing because you
in.
can't tell. I mean, like you said, all the brokenness that you've been through today, you can't tell that you look like.
glowing.
Yes,
Are you telling me I look like what I've been
I
through?
mean,
Yeah,
That's right.
you don't though. You look
And that's a
good.
blessing.
Your attitude
Yeah.
is everything. You always the same. You know, every time I see you, and that's what I like about you. You know what I'm saying? You somebody that I really admire.
I admire you
Yeah,
too.
for real.
boo.
Because God knows like
Seriously.
who people need to be.
Yeah.
You know, to bring each other in people's lives for a reason. And I remember
Mhm.
she did my hair for my birthday photo shoot, but I met her because we had a speaking engagement too. But and then you remember you got on the Bible study.
Yes.
Yeah, when I first started New Journey, do you remember her being on the Bible study?
I think so.
Yeah, New Journey. So it's like we kept bumping heads and different things.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I first saw her, I said, this girl is lit. She on fire. I like it. I like some high energy now.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah,
You
she
know, and
got
I like people who can be themselves
Right.
wherever they are. Like, you don't have to try to like conform to like the room or like how everybody else is moving. Be yourself. Now like I have to. She is so look at her. She was up, had glasses on. I was like, yes, enjoy it. Yeah.
It
But
was
but I be shy first. You gotta bring me about 5 times before you see the real T. And T gonna be like, yeah. I gotta come about 5 times before you see me. I just be smiling. On the inside, it be going off.
Wow. But you do have a beautiful establishment. Cause I don't know the last time I went to a hair salon. I had to be like high school. Yeah, when I came to your salon, I'm serious. It take a lot for me because I'm very picky. You know, you a stylist. I'm very picky. And so when I went, it was a vibe. I mean, and you had it was private. It was nice. You know what I'm saying? Your place is really nice. And you're very well known. You're respected out here. I mean, you're a boss lady.
Let me tell you, when I first saw her name on my schedule, I started to delete it.
For real, I figured
no, you're not.
I figured it was something. For real.
I was like, no, Tia, you're not gonna let fear consume you.
Why?
And I already
Because
met
stylists
her.
don't come. It's
Yeah.
like it's almost like a thing with stylists. Why you coming to me? Is it something they want to? I mean,
No, I didn't feel that way. We was kind of intimidating at first.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Because but I said, Tia, you can't tap into that energy. And then I just realized that.
Oh, wow.
But she was good because she is picky. But I don't care. Like because you a stylist, you can show me exactly what you want.
yeah,
show me
yeah,
what you
yeah.
want me to do.
Yeah,
Like.
yeah,
Right.
And
Like-
you did it.
Yeah, and it
Everything.
was like okay, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like so, instead of like embracing that first fear of like faith,
Right.
you know,
Wow.
Faith.
I never thought that.
Faith Brown.
No, Tia.
I was like okay,
Yeah.
and I was like I'm gonna do it,
Wow.
and it was fun, and I enjoyed talking to her,
Yeah.
and I told her I'm gonna come shadow her,
Yeah.
and I was
You
not
did,
joking.
too. You
Mhm.
did. You gotta come see me.
Right, then I call you and didn't answer because you didn't know my phone number.
Oh, maybe not. But
You
yeah,
know you put
gotta
it on the
come
side,
down
yeah.
here.
Oh, I'm not joking. I'm coming. That's why I set it up here so you can remember I'm not joking.
Period. Okay.
I'm coming.
You'll see us again. All right. Yeah.
To be continued.
Exactly. I know.
But you are a sweet person. Like you have a big heart. Like a big
Yeah, she
heart. Like you are a
does.
genuine person. And I guess if you look at your picture, you know how people like to put people in the box.
Yeah.
Oh, she has designer. Oh, she does this. Oh, she probably is that.
Right.
But you are just you.
Wow.
And that is beautiful. Like none of that defines who you are. You just have a genuine personality. Like every time you just be you. And I love that. And I'm coming to shadow.
Thank you so much. Yes. So, okay, guys. So, thank you for tuning in. If you have not shared, please share. But if you have any questions for any of us or for the special guest Tia, please drop them in the comments. We're going to take a few minutes to answer some questions. So, what's
So,
your...
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you have any advice? You said this is your second marriage. Do you have any advice for a happy, healthy marriage?
Yes. Be open to communicate. And don't take everything that could be defined as criticism as criticism. Because, like I told you, I thought I was perfect. So if somebody tells you you're not perfect, your natural instinct is to be offended. when somebody tells you you're not meeting a need or an expectation, that could be offensive if that's how you choose to do it.
Right.
But if you realize that I don't know what you like and you don't know what I like, and we're not gonna know that unless we tell each other, you know, or I'm not gonna know I'm missing the mark and you're not gonna know you're missing the mark unless we can talk about it.
Right.
Talk about it. I think so many times we just like hide and try to make it seem like it's okay. You know, you don't have to make it okay, because it's gonna be a point where you're gonna have to say it's not okay. And you want to do it in a healthy way where it can be received well on both ends, because it could be a point where you try to hold it and it becomes frustrating. Then it's not coming out right.
Right.
And then you throwing a tantrum or you're just being crazy, you know? But don't, and you have a conversation, listen to that person. When your partner is sharing with you, listen to them. Give them the space to listen, to be heard, without you trying to justify the why. Just try to understand, you know, how that person feels, you know, what they think before you come back with, well, I only did it because, you know, like, because that right there loses the communication. And then nobody's like listening to each other. Everybody's just trying to be heard. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. Nobody's listening. They're just waiting for their chance to say what they have to say. So just take your time to listen to each other, communicate, and don't be scared to tell your partner what you really need. How they gonna know?
They can't read your mind.
Right. And you can't expect them to read your mind. Cause that was me, child. You better know what I want you to do.
You gotta communicate it.
Today I wanted you to go take me to the zoo. And I was the giraffe print. I didn't say anything, but I wore a monkey shirt. And then I'm laying on the couch with my monkey shirt on, but I didn't never say anything. You know, learn to say it.
Communicate it.
Yeah.
Gotta communicate.
Say it.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing I had to learn.
Me too, because I always felt like I don't like to ask for nothing.
Me either.
And what if I ask you but not pause, because I don't even want it no more.
I don't even want it no more. Baby,
I don't want it anymore.
Yes, me.
I said, can you do, you pause? Nah, I got it, I'm going to do it. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. I hated that. Open my mouth. So my thing is trying to learn to open my mouth and ask. That's ask for it.
Yeah.
And my therapist told me it was all right. I said, and she's also told me you need to take should out of your vocabulary. They should know. Why should they?
Right.
Because we all have different life experiences. We all been shaped differently. We all have different examples of relationships.
Love
everything. Yeah, all that's different.
Right.
And our prior relationships were different. So how you expect somebody you don't know what they want no more than they know what you want. There's some things, we got it, you know. But there's a few things that's like small, maybe big, that you're gonna have to say something, because everybody is different.
Right.
You're gonna have to be willing to hear it and be okay with it and grow together.
Grow together. That's the biggest point.
Bro, yeah.
What do you do if it's like if a person don't want to grow?
That's you better pray and ask the Lord. I don't know about it now.
I'm just saying, because I hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
You have one person that want to grow, one person that don't want to grow. I mean, what do you do?
But Faith, at that point, y'all growing together or you growing apart?
And that's sad. And it's often, you know, that is like confusing, because again, you know, I be feeling like whatever your issues were prior to marriage, you were big enough and bad enough to step up there.
Yes, that's
and
true.
You know, say, God,
Right.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
So don't walk down the aisle and think a switch gonna change, you know, and then you want to stomp your feet and act like, you know, this person just crazy. You know, they're crazy for you married, you know.
Yeah.
So in those instances, when things don't change because you thought it was gonna change with marriage, you did it. Yeah, like you did it. Like remind yourself, like people just don't do a 180.
Right.
You know. But I don't know about somebody like, you know, I'm trying to grow and you don't. I mean,
you can't really make them. You can pray for them and, you know, ask God to show them where they need to be.
Yeah, that's just like people willing to put in the work for your relationship to work, but it's only one.
Right.
I hate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That don't seem fair, you know.
Yeah. But there'll be seasons of when people like are down and not willing, you know, to move. So I just think in that instance, you really just got to keep your face to the floor, man, and keep your face to the floor for guidance and direction.
And he can turn it around.
Yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about it. It's like God can make anybody a believer. You just gotta have faith, and that's real. You gotta believe and trust God, like you said in the beginning.
And at that time, you gotta get off social media.
Yeah.
Because and like you know, like the older women back in the day, they did take a lot.
That took a lot.
But I ain't talking about taking debt. But I'm talking about just having more patience, you know, in your relationship to realize that they're gonna be hard spots.
I think it's needed.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard spots. It ain't always gonna be. He's the love of my life. He's the reason I'm not all the time, you know. But you don't just quit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know what that person is battling within them, because they're not always going to share.
Yeah.
Just like we have times where we're not at our best, but we try to cover it up.
Yeah.
Women do real good with covering it up. They do really good with covering it up. So, and sometimes, you know, your partner might just not be able to communicate or be that person you need them to be. So I don't think you just have to give up on them, but you need to pray about it. And ask the Lord to see what this time frame need to be like.
That's true.
Some people do deal with it forever, but I guess it depends on her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pray about it.
Right. Seek the Lord.
Pray about it and pray about it.
For real. Okay.
No questions. But I have one. Okay, so what's some things you did to encourage yourself to push to be a single parent? You know how, because your kids are older. So what advice could you give me as a
what are your options? Is it to kill it or to fail? You don't have too many options. It's like, what do you want it to look like? You know, that was my thing. Like, I never wanted my kids to feel like, you know, they had to go without because it was just me. They feel like we couldn't do because it was just me.
That's good.
So, and then when my oldest son was younger, he had like mentors. Like and my dad's, you know, always been there. So I always had like males around. They love to say a woman can't raise a man, but I did a really good job. But it's just like you can't let just single, you know, be a negative. Because when I first looked at it, that's what I thought it was. Like, oh, I messed up. You know, I got 2 kids with nobody, you know, here helping me. And in that first, when I had my second son, I really had like postpartum. Like, but I didn't like get help. I didn't talk to nobody about it. I was just sending him to his godmama. You know, like, cause I couldn't believe it. Like I'm the girl with like 2 kids. And then I had like snap out of it. Like, I got 2 kids and I'm about to take real good care of them. And then I'm gonna give them this great life, you know. Like, and that's why I had to switch my gears. Like, you can do the best you can with what you got. Like, and my best might not look as good as somebody else's best, but you have to like give it your all. Anything, those yours, they yours, and you don't want to take the option to quit or give up or let it go, cause them your babies, and what you pour into them matters. The life you live matters. So you have to remember these people are looking at you. Even and they can't see you on your downtime sometimes, but these are your blessings. No matter how they came. So you have to provide the best of you to them.
Wow, that was good.
That was so good. All right.
Yeah, how do we find your or follow your you say you're getting ready to be a life coach?
Yes, I'm gonna be posting it.
Okay, so
I'm gonna be posting.
stay tuned.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, stay tuned.
And give them your social media handles.
I'm simply Tia Johnson Mills on Facebook, Styles by Tia J on Instagram. I don't even remember my Snapchat or TikTok.
Too much.
It's so Tia Joe 80 somebody, child. Whoever they let me peek that day, but I'm older, so I'm mostly on Facebook. Tia Johnson Mills on Facebook.
All right, guys. So I believe that's it. Any questions? Anything else y'all want to add to it? Anything else you want to say? You sure?
I'm sure.
You did great. Thank you.
Yes,
for
thank you.
coming
Thank you
tonight.
Thank you so much for asking me to come.
Everything was great. Thank you. Definitely good. So thank you guys for tuning in to New Journey Who This with Tia Johnson Mills. If you or on social media where you are because you're watching this. So definitely go follow her and check her out, guys, and support her in her business. She is a hairstylist and a couple other business ventures that she'll keep you posted on. But yeah, guys, so until next time, I guess we're out.
Well,
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Love you guys.